In this video, we will first demonstrate how modeled processes may be mapped to DNG requirements. We previously released a similar video that demonstrates this capability with JIRA issues, so you can go also check that out on JPL-tube. Additionally, we'll show that a Jupyter notebook may be used to calculate the coverage of DNG requirements that are mapped to BPMN processes, and that this reporting may be automatically executed using PaperMill in Jenkins. So to begin, we first have a BPMN process diagram, and the associated processes are shown here in our model containment tree. And to begin, we're going to launch our Syndeia dashboard. So we go to Connection Manager. For our first repository, we are going to select our SysML model, where we are going to navigate to where we have our processes in the containment tree. Here we go. And then we're going to select our connection type to be reference, and for our other repository, we're going to select a DNG project. We can navigate to any requirement that we might be interested in. We can pick this requirement, which you can see we already have defined within our DNG repository. So to create this requirement, we're going to go ahead and physically drag the requirement onto our associated process and confirm that we want this to be created. And we can check to make sure it was successfully created by going to the connection search, going to get all, and verifying that this relationship is now defined in Syndeia. So with this Jupyter notebook, we can use it to create a strategic summary that shows how many of our processes have linked capabilities, like how many processes are linked to a DNG requirement. And we can automatically execute this using a Jenkins Pipeline job. So we can go ahead and start this build. And of course, since this is a Jenkins pipeline, it can be automatically executed, and you can assign triggers to build it. Say you can say you want to run this notebook once a week or once a day, or be triggered by pull requests on GitHub. So this really enables the automated calculation of the strategic summaries. And while this is building, we can discuss about what is actually going on in the background. So this pipeline is executing that Jupyter notebook that I just showed you. And the Jupyter notebook is able to be automatically executed through PaperMill. And PaperMill allows us to automatically execute Jupyter notebooks while injecting certain input parameters. So in this case, our input parameters to our Jupyter notebook would be our login credentials, our LDAP credentials that we supply to JIRA and Syndeia in order to access the information that we need. And these parameters are specified in the notebook box, one of the cell boxes, and are tagged with a cell tag called parameters, so that PaperMill knows that these are the variables that are associated with the parameters we provide. So here is where we define the parameters that we use, that we inject into PaperMill. So now that the build has completed, we can go ahead and take a look at View Editor, where we have published the results. We can refresh and scroll down to see that the new link we created is here. So this is the one that we just created to the DNG requirement, and this is actually a link that will lead us directly to the DNG requirement and the web interface. We can also see that our strategic summary that calculates our coverage is also updated.